Good day, students. This is your lesson guide for activity sheet for grade 10, quarter 3, week 1, entitled Rule of Hormones in the Reproductive System. To start with, please grab your yellow pad paper and don't forget to write your name, subject, grade and section, and the activity sheet number. This is your activity sheet number 1. Pause the video as you write it down. So what are our objectives? First, identify the parts of the male and female reproductive system. So, atong ilailahon ang pangalan sa mga parte sa reproductive system. Discuss functions of male and female reproductive system. After nato ma-identify, atong hibaw-on unsa iyang function. And lastly, explain the functions of hormones in the female and male reproductive system. So, naa sa gitawag na hormones. And we will get to know unsa iyang functions sa reproductive system. For our learning competency, we will explain the rule of hormones involved in the female and male reproductive systems. What are our learning resources? We have the K-12 Curriculum Guide in Science 10 and our book. It is on pages 247 to 252. Right. Discussion, please refer to 240 to 250 sa inyong science book. Before we begin with activity 1, let me introduce to you the female reproductive system. So the female reproductive system is located on this part of our body. It has 5 major parts. First, we have the vagina, and then the cervix, the uterus. We have 2 fallopian tubes, which are in both sides, and the ovary, or the ovaries as well. Let's have the male reproductive system. What are the major parts? First, we have the penis. And this sac-like looking part is the scrotum. Egg-like looking part is the testis. Encapsulating the back part of the testis is called epididymis. The urinary bladder that keeps the urine. And this urinary tract where the urine flows is called the urethra. And lastly, we have here the prostate gland. Now the rest of the parts are specific names. So you can now go ahead and answer activity 1, part A, labeling the parts of both female and male reproductive system. For part B, we need to complete the table giving the function of each organ. Let's discuss first. This table has its terminologies on the left and the description and its functions on the right side. First one here is the uterus. This is shaped like an upside-down pear. It's the place where the baby lives and grows until it is born. So, kaila mo peras, wala daw siya peras na bali. So, kana siya. And the baby will grow and mature for 9 months on this part of the female reproductive system. Second one is the cervix. This is a tiny hole and is donut-shaped if viewed from below. It stretches open to about 10 centimeters during childbirth. So, if you view it from the vagina daw, it is donut-shaped. So, the cervix is actually located below the uterus. It says that the cervix will stretch until 10 centimeters because it is very flexible. So, you can grab a ruler and see for yourself how wide it can actually stretch. So, nga nung i-emphasize man na mo stretch siya until 10 centimeters? Because the baby will come out from the uterus through the cervix. So, importante kaayo na elastic ang cervix. Fallopian tubes. This is where the sperm and the ovum meet and join and the first cells of the baby form. So, when the ovary produces mature egg cells, it will stay in the fallopian tube. When a female and male copulates or have sex, the sperm cell will travel through the vagina, going through the cervix, and in the fallopian tube, the sperm and the egg cell meets. The name of the first cell is called the zygote. Fourth one is the ovary. This is about the size of an almond. A baby girl is born with all her ova, or eggs, 200,000 to 300,000. They begin to ripen at puberty. Usually one ripens every month. So, almond is silent L. In a lifetime, a woman can have 200 to 300,000 egg cells. So, ina nakadaghan. So, muhinog na ang egg cells, meaning mature na siya, pwede na siya mabuntis after siya ma-reach of puberty. Kanang dugo na siya. So, around 11 to 18 years old, depende sa kaliwat. Usually, naay usa ka egg cell na mo-ripen every month. Pero depende sa kaliwat kay naman sa twins, triplets, and so on. The fifth one is the vagina. This has a very clever design and it's self-cleaning. The vagina produces moisture that becomes noticeable during puberty. So, kanang gidugo na ka, kabantay ka na, di na siya dry, na siya moisture. Ang moisture, ana niya, kay naa na siya acid. It will prevent you having an infection. Okay, that's why it's called self-cleaning. Girls need to wipe front to back when going to the toilet to avoid introducing germs. Since tapad ramano di kayo layo ang vaginal opening ug ang anus gawsanan sa tae, so it's very important you will wipe from vagina from front to back. Kay kung magsugod ka sa back, matouch nimo ang anus, so ang germs ma-wipe siya padung sa vaginal opening. So very important fact to remember. It is not a hollow tube. The walls of the vagina rest against each other, but can stretch open when a penis or a tampon is inserted or a baby is being born. In the picture, giklaro lang siya no na naa siya opening to emphasize, but truly the vaginal wall are touching each other. So, it will just widen if na i-insert or naasay mo gawas like the baby. Next is the vulva, often called vagina in error. It is the name for all the outside body parts between a girl's legs. So, again, di ba ang vagina kay maoning naa sa sulod. So, kanang tanan na makita nimo outside, ang tawag din niya kay vulva. Urethra, urine, comes out here. It does not come out of the vagina. To see it clearly, let's have here a picture. So, there are actually 3 holes. Anus, kung saan nagtae, the vulva, sa atong opening sa reproductive system sa babae, and then lastly, the urethra, opening sa gawasanan og ihi. Ang tawag ani padong bladder is ureter, and then the bladder itself. And as mentioned, the anus, another hole in the body, a way for solid waste to leave the body. Vaginal opening as well, the opening on the outside to the stretchy tube that is the vagina. Lastly is the clitoris. This little bump has more nerve endings than any other body part. When females are sexually aroused or excited, blood rushes to it and they get a tingling, sexy feeling. So this is basically the pleasure point. Here's the different view to emphasize the female reproductive system. You can pause the video and see for yourself, as we pointed out the parts, and think of its function, so as a way of studying as well. This is the front view. This is nothing about kanang sexual or bastos. This is science and, getting to know our body better. We're done with the female. Let's move on to the male reproductive body parts. First is the foreskin, a wrinkly skin that covers the end of the penis. Some boys are circumcised for cultural, religious, medical reasons. It was a popular thing to do for many years. If you have a foreskin, it is important to move it back gently and clean around it in the shower or bath to prevent the buildup of a white substance called smegma. So for medical purposes, most of male nowadays are circumcised because it is cleaner on that way. So this is the foreskin. So if you're uncircumcised or wakagituli, so it's important to really clean it thoroughly. Urethra. This is a tube inside a male's penis for urinating through. Compared sa babae na lahi siya, sa lalaki kay usara ang iyang opening. Opening sa ihi o opening padung sa male reproductive system. Bladder. Trace back up along the urethra to the bladder. The bladder is a sac that holds urine. So this is the bladder, the ureter, then the urethra. Scrotum. The outer sac made of skin that holds the testicles. So the scrotum holds the testicle that is inside. Testicle. This is where sperm is made. Males have 2 of these. They're about the size and the shape of walnuts in men and hazelnuts in boys. They grow bigger during puberty and start making sperm. Sometimes they're called balls or nuts. Why do they hang on the outside of the body? the testicles need to be at a lower temperature than the body. They drop in warm weather and rise in cold weather to keep at a constant temperature because this helps develop healthy sperm. To further explain, the testicle will start growing once you hit puberty, and it has a survival mechanism na if the weather is warm, it will drop, so more siyang mulaylay, and it will rise up or muuk-uk siya in cold weather para you will have a healthy sperm cell. So, survival skills din na siya. Spermatic cord or vas deferens. Trace the passage of sperm along the cord to the seminal vesicle and prostate. From this point, the sperm is called semen. The spermatic cord is located here. When the testicle produces sperm, the sperm travels to the spermatic cord, also known as vas deferens. Before it continues, the seminal vesicle will produce a fluid. So when that fluid and the sperm is mixed up, it is called the semen. So behind here again is called the prostate gland. So it goes further and it will go through the ureter. Ureter, diba, agianan sa siya sa ihi. So same lasad sa agianan sa semen, and it will go out. The name of that kanang mechanism is ejaculation. And the last two parts here, penis, a soft sausage-like organ that hangs between a boy's legs, and then a small hole at the end where urine and semen come out. So obviously this is the penis, and this is where both semen and urine comes out. Anus, another hole in the body, a way for solid waste to leave the body. You can now answer Part B and kindly complete the table. So this ends our lesson. Since it is already lengthy, we will have a separate video for the hormones. Thank you for watching and see you again next time. Bye-bye.